Hello, and welcome to this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great news program for today, and our lineup is very extensive. We have our news stories, of course, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. That's the show. Now here's the social media reminder. You can watch us on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also on Facebook, and you can listen to us on the radio at WERA 96.7 FM. And now on to the news. For our first news story for tonight, as of Sunday evening, March the 21st, reports show the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Arlington has reached 13,882. Regular viewers and listeners will note the continuing increase in our reported case numbers. Arlingtonians are still getting sick. And the most recent rate of increase has gone up, 244 people in the last 7 days. A new report has been issued by niche.com. The report lists their ratings of what they call best cities to live in America. After 5 years at the top of the list, Arlington is now number 2. Niche.com bases its rankings on crime, public schools, cost of living, job opportunities, and local amenities from various data sources like the U.S. Census and the FBI. As in previous years, Arlington received high marks for public schools, nightlife, diversity, health and fitness, outdoor activities, and family amenities. However, lower marks for housing and the cost of living in Arlington lower the county's average. Here's the detailed grade breakdown for Arlington. For public schools, A+. For nightlife, A+. For health and fitness, A+. For outdoor activities, A+. Good for families, A+. For commuting, A. For diversity, A. For jobs, B. For weather, B. For housing, C+. For cost of living, C. There was no grade given for crime and safety, just a dash. A close examination of the site shows a crime breakdown of assault, murder, rape, robbery, burglary, theft, motor vehicle theft, as calculated annually per 100,000 residents. No values were listed for any of those categories. Based on Arlington's own crime reports, this appears to be an oversight on the part of Niche. Arlington has over 200,000 residents, and Arlington's own crime report shows 3 cases of assault for March 16th alone, which should register as at least 1 per 100,000. Apart from that, niche.com seems to be very thorough in their own evaluations. Now someone just needs to tell them that Arlington is a county and not a city. Arlington Public Schools has announced Tuesday that hybrid and virtual learning options will remain in place for the rest of the 2020-21 school year. Approximately 64% of students of all grades attend in-person classes, typically for 2 days per week. The remaining 36% of students stay at home, utilizing full-time distance learning. Recently, 3 weeks of phased returns ended with the return of students in grades 7 and 8 and 10 through 12. Some parents wish for a full return before school ends in June. Others want to continue in hybrid learning. At present, a number of families remain on wait lists for in-person learning. However, in a recent email, Superintendent Francisco Duran wrote that APS continue with hybrid and virtual education and will aim for a full return this fall. The arrangement is similar to that of Fairfax County Public Schools. In an update sent to families, Duran said, in response for requests for APS to bring additional students back for more in-person days, I want to clarify that APS will continue with the current hybrid model for the remainder of the school year, in accordance with current health and safety guidance. We all want to have as many students as possible back in the classroom as soon as it's safe to do so. However, we need to continue to adhere to current health guidelines. The physical distancing guidelines from the state and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention necessitates hybrid schedules and reduced classroom capacities. One group calling for a full return to school this spring is Arlington Parents for Education. They have a different interpretation of the state guidelines. Here is the most recent message from the state. On March 19, 2021, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, updated their operational strategy for K-12 schools through phase mitigation to permit for 3 feet of physical distancing in certain school circumstances, with universal mask use. The CDC guidance now recommends the following with regard to physical distancing. Between students in classrooms, in elementary schools, students should be at least 3 feet apart. In middle schools and high schools, students should be at least 3 feet apart in areas of low, moderate, or substantial community transmission. In areas of high community transmission, middle and high school students should be 6 feet apart if cohorting is not possible. Maintain 6 feet of distance in the following settings: between adults, teachers, and staff, and between adults and students at all times in the school building. Several studies have found that transmission between staff is more common than transmission between students and staff and among students in schools. When masks cannot be worn, such as when eating, during activities when increased exhalation occurs, such as singing, shouting, band, or sports and exercise. Move these activities outdoors or to a large, well-ventilated space when possible, in common areas such as school lobbies and auditoriums. However, according to a statement from Arlington Parents for Education, the guidance says to maximize 6 feet of distance to the greatest extent possible. What does this mean? Contrary to what APS is doing, is that in-person instruction should be the default, with 6 feet of distance if 6 feet is possible. If it's not possible, then it should be the distance part that gives and not the in-person part. However, according to Arlington Public Schools data, 3 staff members and 18 students recently reporting testing positive for COVID-19. On to our next news story for today. Next, we have some disappointing news for some Arlington travelers. The Silver Line extension is not opening until 2022. Metro officials say that the Silver Line extension to Dulles International Airport will open for use in early 2022, most likely in February. According to Laura Mason, Metro's Executive Vice President for Capital Delivery, what we're looking at is early 2022, first quarter in calendar 2022, as the likely start of operations. That means that even if COVID-related travel restrictions are eased by the end of the summer, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other holiday travels, including Dulles Airport, will have to be managed without the benefit of the Metro rail system. The Arlington County Board has approved Greystar Real Estate Partners' plan to build a 423-unit apartment building. It will be situated on 7 parcels that make up the Courthouse Landmark block. The developer will demolish the site's 7 commercial buildings, but they will preserve the facades of the existing investment building and First Federal Savings and Loan building. The 20-story apartment building will include ground floor retail and an underground parking garage. The site is bounded by 15th Street North. Clarendon Boulevard. North Courthouse Road, and North Ule Street. According to County Board Chair Matt De Ferranti, this redevelopment will transform a block of aging commercial buildings while adding housing, including affordable housing, to a site adjacent to the courthouse metro station. The project fulfills much of what the community envisioned for this area, providing a segment of the pedestrian promenade, contributing to the future civic square and affordable housing, and attaining a high level of sustainable design and construction. This is transit-oriented development done right with the broad community support. We are looking forward to seeing this plan come to life. The project will provide a portion of a promenade that was one of the top recommendations for the area around Landmark Block. The plan calls for the North Ule Street promenade to be lined with trees and offer retail space and space for community gatherings. The developer will also contribute $1.33 million to the county's Affordable Housing Investment Fund to meet the county's base affordable housing requirements. In addition, they will provide 4 one-bedroom and 4 two-bedroom units on site that will be committed to remaining affordable for 30 years to households earning up to 60% of area median income. The community benefits package agreed to by the developer includes pedestrian promenade along the North Ule Street, directly adjacent to the site, between Clarendon Boulevard and 15th Street North, a shared street on 15th Street North, extensive streetscape and transportation improvements along Wilson and Clarendon Boulevards and North Courthouse Road, preservation and recorporation of 2 historic facades plus other historic preservation commitments, LEED Gold Green Building certification, 22% of energy cost savings, Energy Star energy efficiency score for the entire building of 80 out of 100, electric vehicle charging stations for 4% of garage parking, EV ready infrastructure ready for 15% of the parking spaces, 8 on-site committed affordable housing units, a contribution towards the future redevelopment of the courthouse civic square, a contribution toward a new public art installation within the courthouse sector plan area. That's all for the news stories for today. Now on to our community bulletin board, CBB Stories.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Do you want to join in on some spontaneous fun in your neighborhood park? Chalk obstacle courses are created each week in Arlington parks by the Department of Parks and Recreation's Super Squad. You can visit the DPR Facebook page on Friday and see which parks the Super Squad visited this week. Then just come on by. Later, you can share your obstacle course photos on social media with this hashtag, DPRS Super Squad, and Chalk Hop Challenge, and tag at Arl Parks Rec. There's no specific date or time, no registration, and no activity number. It's just a chance for a little outdoor fun as the weather improves. Next up, we have something for children ages 5 to 12. It's called Feeding Time. You can find out what's on the menu for our animals and what they would eat in the wild. You'll learn about the adaptations that help them find, capture, and swallow their meals. Then you'll feed snakes, turtles, and frogs. You'll need to register both children and adults because children must be accompanied by a registered adult. For information, call 703-228-3403. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 632-821-H. And it's coming up on Friday, April 3rd from 12 noon to 1 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center and Park, 3608 North Military Road. Now that we've got the kids taken care of, here's something for adults. It's called Q&A Hike. Nature inquiry doesn't have to be just for kids. This is a chance to join a naturalist on a casual hike to ask your nature questions, with the focus being on you, an adult, for a change. You'll meet at the Long Branch Nature Center. Registration is still required. You can register online or call 703-228-4747, and that's activity number 632941-D. It's on Saturday, April 4th, from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. at Long Branch Nature Center at Glen Carlin Park, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Finally in CBB, Tiny Tot is back, and Easter's coming up. So this is a good time for an event all about eggs. This is for very young kids, ages 18 to 35 months, along with an adult, of course. Tiny Tot programs provide opportunities to interact one-on-one with a child while discovering the wonders of nature. Each program may include a variety of activities like dramatic play, songs, and mini hikes. Tiny Tot programs are offered throughout the year at Gulf and Long Branch Nature Centers. Themes repeat, so please register for only one program at each center per month. Caretakers must register and stay with their child during the program. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 632811-M. This one's on Tuesday, April 7th from 10 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center and Park, 3608 North Military Road. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Until further notice, the Arlington 55 Plus Book Club will meet via Zoom. For the Zoom meeting information, register for the group's email list. Registrants will be sent the Zoom meeting info by email one day before the meeting. They welcome new members to join up in reading and discussing current literary fiction, historical fiction, and some nonfiction titles. This month's book is called Bear Town, and here's the gist of it. People say Bear Town is finished. A tiny community nestled deep in the forest, it is slowly losing ground to the ever-encroaching trees. But down by the lake stands an old ice rink, built generations ago by the working men who founded this town. And in that ice rink is the reason people in Beartown believe tomorrow will be better than today. Their junior ice hockey team is about to compete in the national semifinals, and they actually have a shot at winning. All the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. Being responsible for the hopes of an entire town is a heavy burden, and the semi-final match is a catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized and a town in turmoil. Accusations are made, and like ripples in a pond, they travel all through Beartown, leaving no resident unaffected. Beartown explores the hopes that bring a small community together, the secrets that tear it apart, and the courage it takes for an individual to go against the grain. In this story of a small forest town, author Frederick Backman has found an entire world. That's coming up on Thursday, April 2nd, from 12 o'clock noon to 1 o'clock p.m. And since it's a library event, there's no activity number or age or membership restriction, but you do have to register through the library website. Next up, we have American Theater at a Crossroads. American professional theater, in its various expressions from Broadway to nonprofit regional theater, is coping with unprecedented challenges, including economic uncertainty, Black Lives Matter, and the pandemic. Rick Davis, Dean of George Mason University's College of Visual and Performing Arts, will explore the changing environment for theater and all the arts as they look ahead to opportunities and obstacles. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. Activity number is 913-300-1, and it's coming up on Sunday, April 5th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Next up, we have something from the Lee Book Club. Here's a chance to get together for great books and conversation on First Tuesdays. April's book is called The Girl with the Louden Voice by Abby Dare. In the story, Aduni, a 14-year-old Nigerian girl, endures a series of unfortunate events in her quest to get an education. The alternative is a life of servitude, something Adoni experiences firsthand when, after escaping an arranged marriage, she lands herself in an even more precarious position in the employ of a sadistic wife and her debauched husband. Buoyed by the memory of her late mother, who wanted her daughter to buck cultural confines and find what she calls her louding voice, and with the help of a few unlikely allies, Aduni sets about overcoming her sorry lot. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. The activity number is 913-402-21, and it's coming up on Monday, April 6th from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Once again, you got to be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Finally, there's another 55 plus walk coming up. I know that some people don't get all that excited about yet another walk, but at least they choose different routes, and you know it's something you ought to do anyway. And like they say, it's a chance to stay active with friendly walking companions. You'll explore nearby trails and neighborhoods in a safe, socially distant manner. This time they're doing the Williamsburg area. You'll have to call for the actual meetup location. You can register online or call 703-228-4747, and the activity number is 913-201-15. This one's on Tuesday, April 7th from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Ages 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
Hello, and here are a couple of Arlington independent media announcements. AIM will be holding its second annual online auction from April 26th through May the 16th. They are actively soliciting donations of auction items from individuals, area artists, and markers, as well as the business community. Works of art, crafts, books, gourmet baskets, desserts, services, classes, and gift certificates are among the items we hope to offer in the auction. If you are interested in donating items or have ideas about businesses that might be able to help, contact Jackie. That's at jacks@arlingtonmedia.org. Also, save the date. AIM will be holding its first fundraising gala on April 26th. The ticketed, live-hosted, online event will feature pre-recorded segments of music, spoken word, dance, testimonial, sponsor messages, stories about AIM, and more, all hosted live from the AIM studio. Tickets for the event are only $10, and deluxe tickets available for $100. Deluxe tickets will come with a special gala box delivered a few days before the event. The box will contain wine, snacks, party favors, AIM, WERA swag, and other goodies. Finally, from AIM, save the date. Coachella is a 2-night virtual concert featuring some of the finest acts in the DC metro area. The lineup will include area fan favorites Kaz Gardner, Sweater Set, Chris Matthews, Deccan Traps, and many, many more. Tickets are only $10 for one night or $15 for both nights, and will go on sale in early April. Thank you for listening to Arlington Independent Media Reminders.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the Arlington Bonnie Trail. Hippity-hoppity, Easter's on its way. Hey, I'm here with the very handsome Rich Massabny and my extra adorable daughter, Justine Huheey.
That is right.
And as always, I'm Amy Sue Huheey, here with some Easter fun facts. Now, I remember when I was a kid, and just a few years ago when Rich was a child.
That's right, baby.
Easter was a simple Easter basket. This, as a matter of fact, was my Easter basket. And in it came simple marshmallow eggs, a simple bunny. That was it, baby.
You mean it's changed now?
It has changed. Let me tell you, it has changed.
Did you know that, Justine? Things have changed now? Different things in the basket?
Major. We're going to show you before you go shopping this week and are shocked as parents what all is out there. It is unbelievable. Aisles and aisles and aisles of stuff. This was my husband's real Easter bunny as a child. You can tell it is well loved. Demonstrate the Easter bunnies that are out there today.
Oh.
Very cute. Much better. Now, for one, let's start out with your typical Easter egg. Now, this Easter egg has got Camp Rock on it. Okay, back when I was a kid, were there any Duran Duran eggs? No. Were there any Dean Martin eggs where you were a kid, Rich?
Yes, I remember Dean Martin. My mother used to roll me in my carriage to see his shows.
Any Bing Crosby eggs? No.
Who's that?
You know, it's a big singer when you were a kid, Rich.
Oh, Bing Crosby. Oh, I know.
Anyways.
I'll be 40 next year in case anybody out there is interested.
That's right. And then they've got eggs. Look at these. There are eggs now. What do you think these are for, Rich?
I have no idea.
These are eggs
Hate to guess.
that are supposed to be hard to find eggs.
Oh, okay.
So as if it isn't bad enough, I don't know about all the parents at home, but I'm generally finding Easter eggs, a year later. Still, in tissue boxes, under the beds, in the car. So now they've got them shaped like rocks, like grass,
Oh, so
like
you can't
mud.
tell.
Yeah, so they're really hard to find.
These open up, Justine?
They do. They open up. They've got candy in them.
Can you open this one?
And now they've got some really disgusting stuff. There is a toilet candy
Please.
that you actually dip. I guess this is like your little toilet brush. Yum, yum. And Justine is going to demonstrate this for us. And I guess you've got to lick the toilet brush so that the yum, yum inside will stick. Eat right out of the toilet. And then we have our equally, I don't know, I've never tasted this, but this is now edible Easter grass.
It's good.
I don't know. Do you smoke it? Do you eat it? Here, Rich.
Have I been on another planet?
I think so. Taste some of that.
The toilet was good.
In there?
The toilet was good. Taste some of that Easter grass.
Let me taste some of that. You forgot your chicken.
Oh, no. Our peep.
This has got the real stuff.
There we go. Taste that.